Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tony Hollowitz, and I want to give you a tip about working with a feature and act that a lot of times, honestly, I don't even really think about. As a longtime act user, you sort of get used to doing things in a certain way, and sometimes when new things are available to you, you don't even really explore them. Also, I think this new feature that I'm going to show you is something that you really have to be in the right setting to use it on a regular basis. So what I'm going to do is come down here on the left-hand side. I want you to observe where it says History List. When I look at history, ACT can tell me what has been done based on the things that I've entered into ACT. But I think it's important to understand that there's something that I refer to as GIGO. Not just me, other people call it GIGO as well. GIGO, G-I-G-O, stands for garbage in, garbage out. One of the things about ACT is you can get a lot of information out of ACT, but you have to put information into ACT to get information out of it. GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. So when I come over here and click on the history list, this is going to show me a running list of everything that has happened in this database. Everything. Now there's some things in here that I've created. There's some things that ACT behind the scenes creates on its own. But this is just a list. One of the things about this list is if you come up and click on all dates, you can filter the dates. You can filter the types of things you see, and I'm going to come back to this in a second. You can also do a search for a key word or phrase. You can also, if you have multiple users, select which users you have. So I'm going to click cancel right here to get out of that. When you're in this list is very much like a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. Now, you might or might not know this, but there's a couple things you can do. First, if you're trying to find, for example, a specific type of thing or company or time, you can click on any of the column headings. So I'm going to click on company, and it's going to sort everything by company, alphabetically A to Z. If I click on company a second time, it's going to reverse the sort order. So now it's going to go in the other direction. I can click on any of these headings. I can also move the order of these columns by clicking on the column heading and slowly, but in a straight line, dragging to the left. So you'll see there's like a little dotted line that follows me, and when I let go, it moves that over. And I can also go the other direction as well. If the columns that you need are not here, typically when you have a list like this, you can right click and go customize columns. And there's items over here on the left hand side that I could also add in. Over here on the right hand side, I can also move things up and down instead of dragging and dropping them like I just did. So let me click on cancel right here. Next, I'm going to come up here where it says types. And I think this gets sort of interesting because depending on the nature of what your business is, you can really see a lot of good information here. For example, if I click on these little plus signs, it expands things. So let's say that I don't want to see anything but just the calls that are made. Okay, so I'm going to uncheck everything else here. And actually, let me go down to the bottom and click none to uncheck everything. But then on call, I'm going to click just call and then click away from it to close it. So these are all the calls that have been made in the database. Now, keep in mind, this is a sample database that I use for these tutorials, so there's not a lot in here. But if I want to filter that down even more, if I come up to the activity histories, I chose call, but I can even narrow this down. Was it call attempted, completed, left message, call received? You can really drill this down. So there's a lot of things you can see here in the histories area. And if you're a sales manager or business owner and you're trying to see what your staff is doing, well, this gives you an indication. But the thing about ACT and some of these things that I show you that I always at the end of the day wonder about is sort of so what? So you can see all this information, you have a sense. How do you really understand what it means? How do you decipher it? And also, most of us just don't have the time to really try to study this. So on one hand, I think it's interesting, but on the other hand, I think it can be overwhelming because you have all this information, but now what do you do with it? How do you really interpret it? And I think that's the hardest part for small businesses. We don't have days on end to go in and study this and try to figure out what it all means. But it's just a quick and easy way to see some of the histories and what's going on. So ladies and gentlemen, I just want to give you this quick overview of the history list. Go in, mess around with it. You can't hurt things. Go in, see what it looks like, and it might give you some information you need. My name is Tony Holowitz. Thank you so very much. Have a great day.